Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to World This Morning. I'm your host Achara Sati, and joining me is my wonderful co-host who also happens to be a mentor of mine and a brilliant face of PTV World. He is Fahim Bangesh. Assalamu alaikum Fahim. How are you doing today?
Wa alaikum assalam. Brilliant Hajra. Fantastic. It's a beautiful morning. Another beautiful morning of these winters.
Right. So Fahim, I often ask this question to a lot of people and I get very interesting responses. So nowadays, because of this highly fast-paced life, the cacophony of life, we sometimes fail to enjoy the rhythm of the life, right? And because of that, we see that there are lots of mental illnesses. They are across the world on the rise, be it anxiety, be it the depression, be it, some other mental illnesses. And there's lots of conversation on it. There's lots of literature which is being written on it. There are lots of discussions that are being written or done on this particular issue. So obviously, we all feel low moments in our lives. So whenever you are feeling low, I'm pretty sure this is the highs and lows are and all of these ebbs and flows of the life. How do you deal with that? I mean, what is that point which brings you out from that low moment?
Actually, Hajra, like you said, mental illnesses, right?
Right.
A couple of months back, I was on anxiolytics, right?
Oh,
I used
okay.
to take medications. Okay,
Right.
this is the only way out. This is the only savior. This is going to take me out of my depressions and low moments. But of late, I have found out this recent, very lovely methodology of meditation.
Yes.
And that has it's magic, I believe.
True.
It's away from rationality. It's more like magic. And it works phenomenally.
That's true.
I mean, it's the way it takes you out of those negative thoughts, negative feelings,
True.
and the way it makes you want to live. It's wonderful and fantastic.
Right, and meditation is just another method of the reaffirming that we need to revert back inside ourselves.
Yes.
Because as a human, we are always in search of miracles to happen, of magic to happen, and we are searching it in our external world. But it is actually our heart which is holding all of these wonder and the marvels of life. And I think you always need to revert back inside your heart, because that is the place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lives, right?
Absolutely.
And as Baba Bulle Shah very famously said, Rab dilan vich rehenda, right?
Yes.
And if we truly believe the power and the potential that we as a human hold, because we are unaware of that, and that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran has mentioned that humans are in general very ignorant and arrogant in particular. And if we truly realize our potential and the power of our consciousness and a power of mind, I think that will be amazing what wonders we can achieve.
And that's where the discussion can go up to the
Yes,
beautiful
yes.
conversation of Mansoor
Yes.
bin Hallaj, who
Oh,
said
yes.
Anal Haq. But
I
then
am
that's the difference. And I think we should do a program on that too.
True,
It would
true.
be a wonderful program.
True, true.
But without further delay, I think we should introduce our guest for our first segment.
Yes.
And we have Dr. Mahmood Alam with us today, and he is a professor and a heart surgeon in the USA, and he is one of the top heart surgeons there. He also has been the president of APNA, also known commonly as APNA, and we will get to speak more related to heart health, related to other things. But Hajra, you must introduce our second guest as well.
Right. So, Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Mahmood Saab, and thank you so much for
Walaikum
coming to our show.
Thank you for the invitation.
Right, Jazakallah khair. And we're also very glad that we have been joined by Mr. Farooq Raza. He happens to be the advisor of the Zakat Foundation of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, actually work for humanity, and this is what we were talking in our introduction, that when we revert in ourselves, we always find that there is a humanity inside us, and bringing that humanity outside is one of the biggest facets that I feel as a human we can accomplish. So we are very glad that we have been joined by Mr. Farooq Raza. Assalamu alaikum, sir, and thank you so much for coming to our show.
Well, thank you very much for
It's a
having
pleasure
us.
to have both of you here, sir.
Right, right. So, Dr. Mahmood Alam Saab, let's start the conversation from you, because you're a doctor, and it is said about this, some doctors have lots of shifa in their hand, right? And since you're working so much for this particular organization called Zakat Foundation, the USA chapter, so please explain us about it. What is it geared towards it, and how many countries are you covering when it comes to humanitarian aid?
Yes, part of this question will be addressed by Farooq Raza.
Right.
But let me start from where you started.
Right.
In Quran it is said, Allah bi zikrillahi tatmainnul qulub. So
Yes.
I am a heart doctor,
Right.
and the heart and mental
Soul and body are
soul
connected.
and body work together.
True.
And mental health is a major global issue,
Right.
which
True.
you brought up rightfully.
True.
And Quran says कि अल्लाह के ज़िक्र से ही दिलों में इत्मीनान पैदा होता
True.
है.
True. True.
और यही in different way Bulle Shah said and many other people said,
True.
the source is the same, which is the Quran.
True. True.
And Quran also teaches us to respect humanity, to uplift humanity, to uplift those communities regardless of race, religion or national origin. So Zakat Foundation is a unique organization, uniquely positioned in America that not only helps people, needy people in America, but throughout the world.
Right.
And now they are starting their venture in Pakistan. I am the program director of their healthcare initiative,
Wonderful.
signature healthcare program, Humanity Hospital and Medical Center
Wonderful.
in the vicinity of Lahore.
Wonderful.
Lovely. Now, Farooq Raza Saab, you have been an engineer. We would definitely like to know how you developed this feeling, this thought that you must start something of this sort that would be beneficial for the humanity, that would do something for the humanity. Because obviously, whenever we think of something like this, we think, oh, all right, there are other organizations, perhaps they would do something like that. We don't really take that initiative, and I'm talking about majority of the people don't have it in them.
Right.
So what made you go for this? What made you take this initiative?
And our dear viewers, we would like to tell you that Mr. Farooq Raza has been a PhD in artificial intelligence, and that too in 1991. So he's truly a visionary, because I don't think so our parents had heard this term artificial intelligence back in those
Jazakallah
days.
khair for
Right,
this
so Farooq Saab.
praise. I'm the representative of Pakistani diaspora and USA in the Western countries. Whenever people leave their countries, usually we were the people who were supported by the Pakistani universities, our friends and families here. I got my civil engineering degree from Lahore, UAT Lahore in 1985, and went there to work on my computer science degree over there. But that was all the help from the Pakistani people here, this land. So once you finish your, achievements and everything, and I worked in AT&T Bell Labs, working on artificial intelligence and multimedia products for almost 20 years. Then the question comes that how you can pay back to the land where you belong. So that is where it started. The name Zakat Foundation of America is very unique. We wanted everyone in the world to know that, Zakat is obligatory charity for the Muslims, and that is how we take care of our poor people wherever they are.
Right, right. And Farooq Saab, in how many countries is particularly this organization operating in, and would you like to expand your operations further?
Yes, Zakat Foundation has offices in more than 10 plus countries.
Right.
But we work with our local partners in 55 plus countries
Wonderful.
all over the world.
Right.
But we pick those countries where the need is the most. Our organization, when we set up, it was not only Pakistani diaspora but also Turkish diaspora.
Right.
So majority of the board members of the Zakat Foundation are from Turkey. So what we have right now going on in the world, especially in difficult places like Gaza, Yemen, Iraq, Afghanistan, also at the Sham, Syria. So we are in very unique position to help there because of the Turkish connections. So right now our main efforts is going on in Gaza, because that's everyone knows that that is the focal point for humanity to be there and take care of everything. And then in Pakistan, we obviously it is our homeland. So we have been establishing our office here. First we got registration, and now we are inaugurating our office on January 16th, inshallah. And from there we will go further projects for the people here, inshallah.
Right, right. So Dr. Mahmood Alam Saab, now coming back to you, we've seen that in Gaza, unfortunately, the things that are unfolding there, that's very heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, and how, I mean, the hospitals are targeted that are supposed to be a safe sanctuary, especially in the war zone. So how is this particular organization, Zakat Foundation, operating there? there, because obviously there are lots of humanitarian aid which is coming in, and how is Zakat Foundation filling the gap, a huge vacuum that has been created there?
Not many organizations, humanitarian organizations, could go and manage to support the humanity, the worst case scenario in a very small area where they have bombarded
The entire buildings,
entire communities, everything,
entire families,
including the hospitals.
True.
So this kind of terrible situation has not been seen, at least in my knowledge. So, but whoever can go there and help. So Zakat Foundation was previously, before this happened, has been working in Palestine, different areas. So they had some baseline connections there, and as he said that the Turkish connection also helps. So right now humanitarian aid is for food, most importantly, and help those who are wounded, and provide the medications, and putting the really broken pieces, picking up those things together and trying to develop something which can be helpful for those people who are really suffering and continue to suffer. It has not ended yet. So the role of organizations like Zakat Foundation is going to expand in the coming months and coming years.
And how do you, Dr. Saab, make sure that, because everyone is targeted there, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their, gender and whatever, be it the humanitarian aid workers, the civilians, the soldiers, everyone is targeted there. How do you ensure your safety there, make sure that the operations remain operationalized and feasible there?
It is very, encouraging to know that people put their lives online to help those who are suffering, and nobody else is coming to help them. Especially the situation is such. So this is an obligation, and our workers, our supporters think that that is the right thing to do, even if they have to put their life on the line. And
I think I would add to that. The situation of Gaza started in 2006 when the whole siege happened, and people have been dying slowly over there. Their mindset was that even if we don't die today, they will die tomorrow.
Yes, that's
so that is how people
They're
are
already
now
mentally prepared.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can see that what the situation is, that when every day when you go to sleep, you put the numbers on your kids' hands, that tomorrow their names and numbers and we can recognize their bodies. That is what was the community going through in that area for last almost 10-15 years. So now when they are on in this situation, people don't understand. Human people, it's very difficult to grasp the actual situation, that why they are there to give their lives. That is why, because they were about to die maybe in the next 1 or 2 months anyway. So that is what they think.
So definitely looking at the scope of problems that people have all over the world, especially that strip that we are talking about, how encouraging is the behavior of people who are working with you? Do you people have to encourage them to go, or do they come to you and offer themselves that we want to go and help people over there? Because obviously what we see on television...
amazing, people who are there, they are there inside.
Yeah.
But people from outside, the way they talk to us, the way they want to go in, from not only the grown-ups, but the children, the women, the very, from even the non-Muslims, not only the Muslims, I'm talking, they just want to go there and be with that part of humanity there at any cost. They said that don't worry, we can write our life to you and give us a chance to go into the Gaza and defend them. It's amazing. And the people who are there, they don't want to come out.
We have a long list in hundreds of healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, who are eager to go there and serve.
That's amazing.
So we don't have yet the capacity to entertain all the requests.
Right.
So that is not an issue. Okay.
Because
Right.
even in Hajra, you must have heard and seen, even in Pakistan, people are so, I mean, they're
Willing to go
boiling
there.
with
Desperate.
emotions, you
Yes,
know,
yes.
desperate to go. And they're not finding the correct platform. And I think this is the right platform where they should contact. So you say you're inaugurating in Pakistan now. So what is the scope of your work in Pakistan? Which cities are you planning to expanding on?
Yeah, good question. We started working as a relief organization from 2005. We were
Right.
working with our local partners. This is the first time we have registered ourselves as international NGO. So our major project, as Dr. Saab was mentioning, is Humanity Hospital in Lahore, which we will be inshallah spending $10+ million there in next couple of years, so that we can serve the vicinity of Lahore, and that hospital will be a really something which people would be appreciative.
State-of-the-art
State
hospital,
of the art,
yes.
and they will they will get help. The other major operations which we are right now doing is the flood affected areas in Sindh.
Right.
Right.
I'm leaving tomorrow for the Karachi and Juddo, Matiari, and all those areas which still we are constructing the homes for those people, and we are handing over the keys. As a matter of fact, on 12, 13 and 14, all 3 days are for the handing over the keys of those homes to the people there. At the same time, we have our operations in with the help of Khubaib Foundation in the KP area. In Haripur, Hazara, we have the orphanage there. Also, we work with Al Khidmat and Reed Foundation in Pakistan. And also, we are very closely working with the other stakeholders like USAID and other entities from the US also to collaborate and get help for the people in Pakistan.
And you mentioned the private organizations and NGOs.
Right.
I'm sure the government also is quite interested in doing this with all the platforms, with all the organizations who want to come and help in Pakistan.
Yes.
So how has been the response of the government?
No, very good response. I was there in Prime Minister's Secretariat 3-4 days ago. We gave them all the information. They were very appreciative. They gave us the pointers that the government of Pakistan is starting a housing project for flood affectees in Balochistan now.
Right.
And we have built some homes in Sindh. So they would like to learn the experience, and they will take that, inshallah, help from to the people of Balochistan now. So we are working very close with them.
Right.
Right. And yeah.
Sure. Okay, so Dr. Mahmood Saab, now coming back to you, since you're a heart surgeon, and I'm pretty
Yes.
sure you deal with, many patients in your clinic, in your hospital. And when we talk about specifically the situation that is unfolding in Gaza, it's very terrible, it's very heart-wrenching. How do you envision and how do you think that, the things will later unfold, especially in Gaza, in terms of the humanitarian aid, like we talked about it, and obviously, the West is defending the indefensible there, right? And we don't see any massive support that could unhold all of this that has been going on there. So what are your future plans?
This is very unfortunate situation because of the political alignment of even Muslim countries. That is not helping to facilitate all that which we want to do. But eventually pressure will build up from the masses
From the streets,
that the humanity has to be taken care of and all the things could be facilitated. Then many organizations, including Zakat Foundation, they are eager to go there and help, and any kind of help.
Right.
Okay. So with health, if you don't have anything to eat, how you are going to take care of the wounds the people have sustained?
True.
So this comes hand in hand. We work together to support that thing, and I tell you, Alhamdulillah, Muslims and non-Muslims also around the world are eager to give money to support those, regardless of their government support or not.
Right.
So that is there.
Right.
So money will not be a matter, it is just the political settlement, which is the most important thing, is the ceasefire.
Right.
Without having a ceasefire, which is being demanded throughout the world, it will be very difficult to work there and help those communities under siege.
Right, and the amazing thing about how you talked about that, it doesn't matter whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, people just want to go out and help there. And that this reminds
That's
us
where
that
humanity comes
yes,
in,
that we
yeah.
are all part of a bigger family called
Yes.
human family, right? We are all sons and daughters of Adam and Eve. So Fahim, you wanted to ask something. I'm really sorry I was interjecting.
No, that's okay. Dr. Saab, now that you people are inaugurating in Pakistan as well, I'm sure you must be interested in treating patients here on a welfare basis as well, because heart diseases, cardiac problems
Oh,
are
yes.
something which are
Oh, yes.
very common in Pakistan.
Yes.
And so many people, they just die, they just waste away because they can't afford the doctors, they can't afford the testings, be it diabetes, cardiac problems, hypertension. These are the three main diseases of Pakistan, right?
Absolutely.
So your plans
Global
regarding
burden
that?
of disease, this is a thing which is being published based on research and data, and they have updated their thing just recently, last year.
Right.
So Pakistan on the top of the list with cardiovascular problems, complicated with high percentage of diabetic people who are suffering the most. So this is our thing, that we want to create a model hospital where we can take care of everybody who comes to be treated regardless of their ability to pay. So on a sliding scale basis we are going to establish that, and there is a vast need. Pakistan, unfortunately, whoever makes those policies, 0.4, 0.5% of the GDP is being spent on healthcare, wherever World Health Organization, WHO, recommends countries like Pakistan should spend 6% of it. So there is a gap. Who is going to fill that gap? Organizations like Zakat Foundation and Humanity Hospital.
Absolutely.
And our motto is that world-class health should not be word away. And in Urdu, our motto will be Hum Insan Dost.
That's true.
So we attract everybody and help those and try to fill the gap which government cannot fill due to the, especially the current economic situation in Pakistan.
Right. Farooq Saab, now let's come back to you. And if someone wants to contribute in terms of involuntarily, in the monetary and the non-monetary terms, especially towards the Zakat Foundation USA and from Pakistan, how can that person approach your organization, and what are the outlets, especially if it's a non-monetary contribution?
Yes, we have a very well established website, zakat.org.
Right.
Which has all the information where people should be calling, where they should be sending their volunteer request, how they can get involved, how they can contribute financially. So zakat.org has all the links to our social media links also. We are on the almost everywhere, on the Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. So people are contributing, and they should contribute. They should visit zakat.org, zakat.org.
Wonderful.
Lovely. So to make it clear, zakat.org is the website that you people need to visit, because obviously social media is the go-go factor these days, and you people need to visit all those sites, all those handles, in order for them to reach their goals. And I will not say all the best to you people, because I know that you people are going to be very successful, because the intentions behind this are very noble and very beautiful, and I must appreciate this with full heart and full soul. So that's a lovely thing that you people are doing.
Thank you for giving us time to communicate with your audience.
Right.
And
it's a
it was
pleasure,
a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much.
It's
It's
a
a pleasure. And I think we are very glad that we had this conversation. Thank you so much, Dr. Saab. Thank you so much, Farooq Saab, for being here, for having this wonderful conversation. And if anyone wants to contribute, because Pakistanis have very, I would say, altruistic tendencies and philanthropic tendencies. And if anyone wants to contribute, that is why I said, not just in the monetary terms, but also in the non-monetary terms, right? Your help, your presence always makes a difference. So go out there, help the humanity, and contribute whatever you can in any capacity, in any shape, in any form. It will always be counted. So with that, we are wrapping up this segment, and after a short break, we will come back with very interesting discussion lineup. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned.
Good morning.
Welcome back to World This Morning with Hajra Sati and Fahim Bangish. Well, as we told you, we're going to be having a very interesting second segment of the program, and here we are. And I must introduce our guest to you. Well, he is a Commodore Syed Shoaib Salim Sab, and he is an analyst and a motivational speaker. And today, we're going to be talking about 2024, a journey of growth and resilience. Sir, first of all, welcome to PTV World and Assalamu Alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
It's lovely to have you here, sir. Now, sir, the topic, 2024, a journey of growth and resilience. Sir, first of all, everybody, as I was talking to Hajra before the program today, that everybody has their own interpretations of words, interpretations of different stories, right? Tell us, since you're a motivational speaker, we would love to hear your interpretation of resilience and growth.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And I think the resilience, the topic, it has been a very deep meaning. And very appropriately, the topic has been selected. And resilience means that you have number of challenges and you have to adapt within those challenges and then progress well. And in the next 2024, which we are already in, so we have a big challenges internationally, domestically, technologically, as well as in economics growth as well. So we need to be very adaptive to the challenges and then progress.
Right. And sometimes what happens is, Fahim, that I've seen it a lot. I mean, a lot of people confuse resilience with docility, or the concept of the being docile, right? And they say that if we are not doing anything, if we are suffering, if we are bearing the pain, that is making us grow more, right? And they're not doing anything in order to control that, right? So when we talk about growth, and obviously the concept is interlinked at the intersection of the concept of the resilience. So how do we reshape or rewind this mindset that, you know, the more you, adopt the pain, the more you bear the pain, that is being, fantasize a lot about it, right? And how to make sure that you are on the path of the growth, you're not being docile about it.
It is not only that you are taking the pain, that is good enough. While taking the pain, you have to progress within that. In case if you are, I was just talking, in case you have the resources and you have the project, so anyone can do. You put a monkey, I remember in flying, instructor used to say that you put a monkey in the aircraft, it can fly, but he has to be how effectively that flying can be conducted. So basically, in case of your problems, only you don't need to only suffer, but you need to have a progressive approach that how you can improve upon your existing system, existing layout, existing your resources. That is the way forward for any progress.
Because the thing is, we do see, because Pakistan is a very huge young population, and what we see very commonly is people comparing themselves with others, right?
Oh, yes.
And that's when they feel all the pain, that's when they feel all the burden. Okay, they have it, I don't, the social media. So what would you say to the young generation of today? Because they compare, they feel bad, they get the low self-esteem, they get low motivation. Since you're a motivational speaker, I wanted to ask you this question because that's what we see around us these days.
Okay, very good question, because our young generation is going to take over the country in the next decades.
True.
And I'll quote two Quranic verses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that do not be disappointed. Na mayusi gunah hai. So I would like to convey the message to my young generation that, and to the elders, that don't be mayus or disappoint na ho. And problems aati hain, every nation, every country, every home, every individual. And second thing is, at TF College we had a logo, Laysa lil insana illa ma'asa, ke whatever you insan, the human strive for, they will get for it.
True.
And don't need to get panic or don't need to get disappointed. Work and adapt to the challenges, and only that person is good who will adapt the challenges and face the challenges and come out of that.
Right.
That is the achievement.
Right. And let's contemplate on a very philosophical concept which you alluded to, sir, is the pain, right? And whenever we talk about the growth, these two concepts are interlinked, because after pain, you do see if you are emotionally able to regulate your pain in a more healthier manner, you are able to then go towards the growth. But sir, do you think, and we have this tendency to demonize certain emotions like the emotion of pain. We run away from the pain, we don't want to feel the pain. But do you always believe that pain is an unproductive emotion, or do you think that it can be a force of change or for a good change?
The English saying is very famous, no pain, no glory.
No pain, no gain,
right?
that's true.
So, we need to adapt to that. Okay? We have to bear those pains to, somebody said that we have to have the darkness and before the rain it comes, and the dark clouds come in and then you get a rain also.
True.
So, that is the concept which we must adopt and come out with something new, staying within that and no pain, no glory.
Because I was looking at something, or looking at a video where they said the pain is going to come, the hard times are going to come. It's up to you how you deal with them, because they are going to come, whether you like it or not. But sir, one thing that comes to my mind, many people, they lack how to, the ability, the skill to strategize, to channelize those energies in order to turn that pain into opportunities, into something productive, into something that would be beneficial for them, either in the short term or the longer term. So how does a person do that? And I'm talking about a mediocre person with mediocre level of education.
Okay. First of all, they need to be progressive in mind. Negative thoughts will not let them end up somewhere. So, they have to have a positive
negative
approach.
thoughts are very attractive in nature, I would say.
So, we need to avoid, in our young generation, I would give them a message that avoid negative thoughts, have stress, but manage those stresses. Without stressors, there is no life, no human, animals, the plants, the humans, they all suffer the agony or the stress or the problems or the difficulties or the hard times, but they survive. Even you talk of plants, you see they get dormant in the winter and they come out again with the new buddings. They don't say that, okay, no, we are dormant, we are dying, and okay, we continue dying. They struggle, their roots, they struggle deep beneath the earth to fetch a fresh water. They stay to get the light and the air to grow further.
It's so beautiful, the examples that we have in nature, Hajra.
That's true. And I think adaptability is one of the very essential component of the nature, and that we too see in the humans. And since you have a background in the forces, so I'm pretty sure the training component of that was pretty hard. And I mean, sometimes people think that they can't do it, but I mean, you are amazed at what you are able to accomplish as a human, as a person, and that is all because of the concept of the adaptability. Now, sir, let's talk about the resilience. And when we talk about resilience, obviously it is interlinked with the challenges. So what are some of the challenges do you think that the year 2024 is going to face us, and how to overcome that with the resilience?
Okay, before that I'll just add on to that.
Sure.
Adaptation, humans, I tell you, they are very, very resilient.
That's true.
If from minus 52 degrees to plus 52 degree, we adapt.
That's true.
I have been to Dosai, I have been to Jacobabad where plus 52 degree temperature, but the human, they were working there.
True.
So, they adapt to all type of environment. You give them the resources, still they will adapt. You retrieve the resources, like in so many African countries and so many in Middle East. You have deprived them of the basic things, still they are surviving. And they have the resilience to fight against the odds which they are facing. And for 24 resilience and the growth, we need to focus on education, primary. Like in Quran, Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi, the first thing that we have to study, then there are number of fields in that. IT is the one. The doctor was sitting here before this channel, in IT, AI, and in medicines, in medical, this nanotechnology, genetic engineering. These are the fields which are coming up in this era, and the technological progress is getting too fast. My teacher used to say that once the improvement and the new development used to take 1,000 years to double that. Now it is taking every few minutes, the knowledge is increasing. you talk of AI or GPT and e-commerce, there are number of fields and there are a number of fields, they are now interlinked, multidisciplinary fields, and we must educate. And I would conclude on this, that we must educate our children in Pakistan, have a good universities, good libraries, and we should not discourage our youth going out. Some people, they take it also negative, that okay, our youngsters are going out, brain drain. They are going to outside, they are going to learn, they are going to get some new knowledge from the world, and they are still, they will be called as Pakistanis, and they will bring. Dr. Qadir Khan, he brought the technology here, and so many people they have brought in.
And also, sir, like I always mention, the WHO also recognizes the definition of health by including spiritual health along with it. Now, when we talk about growth and resilience, how important do you think spiritual growth, the role of spiritual growth as far as a human being is concerned?
It's very important. Without that spiritual motivation, you cannot. Like you talk of India-Pakistan wars or Muslims and non-Muslims, that was the spiritual faith and spiritual confidence which made the success, like 27th of February which is going to come. That was the spiritual faith. We are very humble to Allah Almighty that one day, 26th February, our ISPR says that we will respond, and 27th in the daylight, we struck them and they didn't know from where they have been slapped.
That's very
so that is a spiritual thing, that we have faith in Allah and then progress, then continue doing our bit and leave the result on to Allah.
Right, right. And Fahim mentioned a very important aspect of growth, because you talked about spirituality. So, sir, how much it is important when we talk about growth as a community or growth as a nation, how much it is important that you yourself as a self grow first within, and then you talk about the growth of the entire community, because self-love starts from inside first, right? And then you talk about, loving the entire humanity. So
beautifully narrated. That was my point which I wanted to talk, which you have rightly brought forward. Like, if every individual they progress in studies, education, business, economics, overall it will have an impact at a national level. In case individuals, their bouquet of hunger and strikes, and how can they contribute to the community, to the next generation? And for that, I would suggest that government cannot create number of jobs, government cannot create all economy, but individual entrepreneurship. I had been myself entrepreneur before 45 years or so. At the very young age, I know that as an entrepreneur, you don't have any limit. You can go any forward and you can create job instead of asking for the job, and that way as a nation we can progress very well.
Right, and thank you so much for saying that brilliantly out there, because whenever we talk about the growth, whenever we talk about loving humanity, it always comes from inside. So first you start to love yourself, and self-love is very different from, how do you say, from, I mean, a fake sort of a ego or fake sort of a materialistic sort of
that's where narcissism comes, right?
That's true, that's true.
That's where narcissism comes in. So, one last message from you to the youth of Pakistan, because the youth carries a huge percentage of the population.
Yes, I would say that be cool. Do not be upset that we are not a progressive nation. We first of all get your anger controlled. The human who has controlled his anger, they will progress, and they should focus. Every individual must focus on his own work instead of poking nose and commenting on others. Like the politicians, they point a finger on others. Educationists, they point the fingers on bureaucracy and all those things. We must focus on our individual, whatever individual is asked to do, he should focus on that. That's the way we can progress. And gusse pe control. That is the
That's very true, because nowadays we see that people are so intolerant. I don't know, and there's this mantra of not respecting the opinions of the other. But
Yes.
I hope so in the days to come we see more improvement. Thank you so much, sir, for
So
having
it's been a
sharing this.
pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank
wonderful
you very
thoughts.
much for your lovely talk to the youth of Pakistan, to us. And it's always good when you get to learn one thing or the other from the guests that we receive here.
Right, right. And for sharing these wonderfully wise thoughts and the words of wisdom, because we always need them, and we always need to interact with the wisdom, because it is said in the hadith that wisdom is the heritage of a Muslim, of a Mu'min. So now on the special instructions of our executive producer Saab, we are going to wish a young buddy, a young budding, I would say, YouTuber, and also a rising and a shining star who happens to be a very regular on our show. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, and may you have
Abdul Hadi is the name of this young bud. He is, mashallah, 11 years old today. Abdul Hadi, a very, very happy birthday to you. Shall we sing for him?
right, sure. So happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hadi. Happy birthday to
Right, and I think he
you.
aspires to become an Ertugrul in the future, and make sure that you become an Ertugrul in the future, because he expanded the Ottoman Empire a lot, and make sure that you become a good and a budding son to your parents, and you absorb a lot of good habits of both of your
Yes.
parents, and be a more responsible and a good citizen. And obviously he happens to be the son of Jamshed Sultan Saab. He's an executive producer Saab, and here he is with our very favorite Shahzad Khan. He has turned 11 years old, and I hope and I pray that may all of his wishes become fulfilled, and may Allah
Ameen.
bless him with boundless bounties and the wonders in this entire world.
Absolutely. So once again, a very happy
happy
birthday
birthday.
to Abdul Hadi.
Right.
Well, we had a very productive conversation today with our guests, and definitely we'll continue to have these conversations. We'll bring you more and more information.